We're live. I never realized how detailed Rick's song gets.
It got
as you go
deep there.
through.
It got deep. I'm curious what the whole song actually sounds like.
We never really made it that far.
Yeah.
See, we're 40 seconds, and that's probably a record.
Yeah, that's the most we did. We were just chatting, and then we got lost on time. But good morning, my people. Here comes our assistant, Fran. Welcome to the podcast. We've haven't adjusted anything back here yet. Time will come. We will do that at some point. We got one viewer already. Who is it?
Could be us.
Could be Rick.
Rico, dude, if you're out there, what's up, man?
How's it going, dude? What's new?
Not too much. I was just thinking, new feature for iOS. How fucking sick would it be if, like, when you went to paste something, it like gave you a list of the shit you copied?
Oh,
like 10 times.
Yeah, but then that would be like a security breach.
It's just fucking annoying, dude. Like, I think I copy one thing, and then it's like I go to paste it and nothing's there.
Well, I was just thinking that now about I should be able to hopefully under. We don't have a tech guy still, so if anybody out there wants to be a tech guy, Rico. How's it going, brother? I was just like going through Instagram trying to post this live, and I was thinking the same exact thing. I was like, now I got to go to YouTube again, copy the link. Why doesn't it just save my past history? Right?
It
should.
Yeah.
So why can't chat do that for us? I'm drinking from the same cup right now.
The boys are on tonight.
The Ember Cup. Yo.
Oh my God.
Jimmy, well, we got the most years you've ever had right here. 3-1. So what's been new, dude? How's it been going? What do we got?
Good.
What's in the world news today? In the Yancheks world news?
World news, we got actually a lot going on. Try to cover it. Obviously, as you guys know, 23.2 was released. We both performed it.
Okay, so agenda.
Workout one.
Let's go. So agenda, we're gonna hit open workout. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna hit Rocco's insecurities about China. Chat, maybe you can double tap on some of these ideas and concepts. Rocco's afraid that China's gonna drop the bomb on us at some point. Not Russia anymore. He's afraid of China. So we're gonna double tap on that. We're gonna double tap on systemizing the operations, right?
No, we were gonna talk about being able to change and adjust plans,
like agility in life. How agile can you be in life? When things are thrown at you, can you make some moves? And we're gonna try to not have people come in. We're gonna talk a little bit today. And then I'd love to Rick, if you want to get in here and talk about your life and how you've made some like adverse changes, we're gonna dig into that.
Drop this in here, for you boys.
Yeah, we might not let you in right away,
okay?
Let you in. If we're in the middle of a fucking mix, you guys can sit there, drop. I know, Jimmy, you're going to be the first one that wants to drop in, but it takes some time.
If you guys are lucky, just tune around. We might get a live broadcast of a current athlete.
You guys might be confused. Yeah, I was supposed to be at a marathon today.
We'll get into that later.
We'll get into that. It's about agility right there. The agile leopard, we'll call it, right? Is that the agile leopard. But we got an icebreaker for us, dude. That's like we normally start out with an icebreaker.
Agile animal, in your opinion?
Most agile animal, in my opinion. A fucking lion's pretty agile, I would think, right? Chet, can you double tap on that?
I was going in the other direction.
What are you thinking?
I was thinking fish.
Fish, yeah, that's pretty true.
Like, creep up on a fish and it does like disappear.
Bounces, yeah. Oh, okay. So if you're thinking snakes, they're probably pretty agile too. They can dip. Bugs are pretty agile. Like a gnat. Think of those fuckers. They got always just hovering and floating around, bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know about a gnat, dude.
There's a lot of animals. I don't even know if our tech guy was here, he could pull up the most agile animal on the internet. Can you guys see up my pants? I'm sorry.
How would you even test that? I guess
agile animal. There's some idiot out there who's done it.
Scientists.
Yeah, they study literally everything and anything that's out there.
You know who would know? Probably Aspen. We'd have to call her in.
Why would Aspen know?
Does she do animals?
No, she does something with like the government.
I thought she's like environmental.
No, well, that doesn't mean animals. She does something with like she uses software that I compete with.
Really?
Yeah, Pro fucking log, motherfuckers.
Wait, what? That's the name of it?
Yeah.
Prolog.
Yeah.
So they took half our fucking name.
Yeah, they took half our name. We got Prolog, PlanGrid, all these fuckers out there, Autodesk, Chat. You know any of these guys? You probably worked for them.
I think we have some viewers out there too that are kind of looking to work at your place.
Yeah, we get the whole talk
good
about
advice
that.
For them?
Show some dedication, some interest in it. One of the one of my mentors across life has told me, you have to have just as much buy-in. You got to go all into certain things, and you got to, have some appreciation for what's being offered to you, because everything might not be ideal at this moment, but at some point it will be. I don't have a mentor who's told me that, but I just feel like you need to be agile. One of the guys that I do work with, he's my old manager. He used to say, and he recently just said it to a buddy of mine, but he said literally like, hey, you got to make a decision. You got to go all in, and it might not be right. And we will at that moment, once you figure out it's not right, that's where you become agile and you figure out how to make the next change. But you got to go ahead and try things out, go all in, dive forward, or whatever you want to call it. You have to try those things out. You can't just sit back and always have the reason of why it might not work. Well, there's this, it might not work because of this. Well, I don't know about this because it doesn't work. Or I don't know about this because it's not going to work with my life. It's like, well, we don't fucking know because you haven't done it.
Yeah.
So go do it.
I always feel like that's always a buzzword too. Like making the right decision. Like, how do you even know what's right? It's just, you're making the best decision at that time. And like you said, maybe like as time goes on, maybe it turns out that there's a way you have to pivot and change that decision.
Yeah. Well, give me an example of something then. Good. I'd love to hear your thoughts of it from what my old manager told me, because then I have some shit I want to double tap on that.
All right, give me a scenario.
All right, it's me. Okay. We'll flip it back. I have to make a decision.
No, give me one where I have to
okay, you have to make a decision. Buying the gym.
Buying the gym.
Yeah. So you were this is a real life situation, real life scenario. You were presented with this opportunity, right? And you've been presented with this opportunity time and again and again and again. Okay. So we'll fast forward. We'll skip the times you've denied it. And then we'll kind of go back and figure out why you did those and what might have happened through you as you age, maybe. I don't know.
Well, that's a good scenario.
Yeah, but hold on, we lost a viewer. It was probably Rick, because he just doesn't give a shit about us.
Have Ricky to J up, dude.
Yeah. Okay, so you are presented with the gym
multiple times.
Okay,
we'll go to the very beginning one.
Okay,
we'll even rewind a little further back so we can have some context.
Okay.
You and I had talked on the phone when you were living in Australia about creating. We kind of created this whole plan on taking CrossFit, in our opinion, to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
We were both very passionate about it. We wanted to give back to the world. We saw CrossFit as a way to do that. We both kind of set out on this journey to own a business.
Well, at this time, when we had this conversation, were you a coach or anything?
Was I a coach? I don't think so.
Neither of us had our level one.
I remember the conversation. I was in the field down here where we all at the old house.
Yeah.
Walking the dog. It was in the morning. I don't know what time it was for you, but yeah, that's where we came up with it. So that was kind of the plan. So then fast forward back to the first time someone offered me the gym. I think you got offered it first, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We worked at the same gym. We were following.
All right. So wait, I'm lost a little bit. So fast forward, I move here. We both start coaching at this gym, and I get presented several months down the road to buy the gym.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I come to you with
it.
You
were more like a GM.
At the time I had
Luke expedited the CrossFit career. Kudos to the old owner of the gym. He had a lot of family pulling him in a different direction, and I think he just threw Luke to the wolves. But also tried to, I would say he tried to control you too, like a little too much. It was like, hey, you're the GM, but then, hey, I'm going to tell you all the things.
Yeah. So
it's kind of weird.
It was super weird.
But anyway, you had no idea what you were doing.
Yeah. We can have a leadership discussion about that.
So you got offered the gym. We had talked about it. You were like, absolutely not. I think, what was the price? Ridiculous.
No, the price was super cheap. It was more of like, do any of us want to live here? So that's where it was like, we were presenting and we had so many situations. We all were like, I don't know if we can live here. I don't know if I can live here.
Also, the gym was going through. He only pitched it to us, right? He only pitched it to us because the gym was going spiraling out of control.
Yeah.
They had a huge fallout, lost way more than half their members.
Yeah, which weighed heavily on the decision-making process.
Kind of.
So if we put that and we'll put that on the table right now. So remember that when we bring this forward to like being agile, right? So we have this decision on the floor about how heavily we are going to have decisions made, right? So you have this idea.
Providing context.
Yeah, providing context. There's a fucking gnat. You guys see that? And how he was agile. Fuck, it was agile. Okay, so you're being presented with this concept of, hey, buy the gym. I was presented, I denied how old was I? 22.
It don't matter, dude.
Yeah, but okay. At the time, it was like he presented it for a super cheap price. But like you said, right, there was a lot of shit spiraling out of control. So then the offer comes to you, and both of us were like, okay, Matt would be the one with the capital. You would keep your job. I would continue to do this, right? You had to make a decision at this point.
Yeah.
Okay. So, let's go back to you. Where did this go?
This went, obviously, this first time was declined. At the time, for me, it was only checking certain boxes. The old box checks.
Yeah, we'll go. We're going to dive into that.
But I'm a little bit stubborn, and I like to be creative. And I think one of the bigger things was this wasn't our gym.
Yeah.
Like we had planned.
Ground up
operation. It was like, oh yeah, you're going to take this huge ass space, which I still think is very fucking big. Huge space. You're going to get low members, basically like, I don't know, 10, 15 people maybe.
Yeah, at the time there was nobody.
But you had to also pay rent for this sizable place. So sizable incurring cost that's going to happen month over month.
Yeah.
And then it was a membership base that, again, Luke and I were amateurs at the time. So at the time, we were just really frustrated with the members that were there. I think we both struggled to, and again, I'm not saying this is their fault. It's, again, being new to the industry and being new to coaching, getting people to kind of work and behave. And the culture there that was left over and fostered by this other owner was not the culture we had envisioned. So I think we just both naturally, myself included, always defaulted back to that kind of, well, no, I want to build this from the ground up. Kind of like our plan. Luke and I's plan kind of wanted to be start small and then grow and move and be agile as we expanded. So I think the idea was more like, oh, hey, we're going to run CrossFit like in the garage first, maybe get a barn. But yeah, and then to Luke's point, one of the third boxes was California was not supposed to be permanent. But here we are in California.
Yeah, Matt bought a house this year. How permanent can it get?
It grows on you.
Okay, so we're going to kind of cap that up and then we'll fast forward. So you go, we're both presented this opportunity. I say no. Again, this is 2020 also. 2019 presented, start of 2021, gym closes. Heroic George comes in, buys the gym after Matt denies the gym. Matt continues to coach at this gym. COVID strikes. I'm gone. I'm out of the picture. I'm back in Pennsylvania again. Nah, it's PA, Rick. You love it there, dude. So we're there in Pennsylvania. I'm there. You're here. Okay. So now we have the separate. We fast forward. Let's go fast forward. The gym keeps running. You keep coaching at this gym. Did anything through your mind change? Was there any regret? Was there anything that made you start to think to yourself, I should have made this decision. I should have bought the gym. I could have done this, or this could have been mine. Any of those things go through your mind?
Honestly, no regrets. Like I said, I feel like I made that decision based on those things and I was happy with that. And I was glad that George had bought the gym.
We're not going to use names.
Right.
It's part of the new thing here.
Hefe bought the gym. I had struggled a little bit at first because I was like, oh, this is a great opportunity. That gym's closing down. I'll just grab some people, coach them out of the garage at my house.
Which was your original thought.
My pivot plan to still coach and get better at coaching. Mm-hmm. I think both of you at that time, both you and I at that time, were not confident as coaches.
Yeah, brand new to coaching. Yeah.
So I thought that'd be a great opportunity. But again, Hefe bought the gym and he immediately reached out to me and asked if I'd be the head coach. I said, yeah, which I looked at that as like, oh, this is an awesome opportunity. I can just hone in on being an awesome coach. I don't have to worry about the business stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think that opportunity that was presented to you, knowing what you know about coaching now, did it do exactly what you were hoping?
Yeah. But I think
it did to the T.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll dive into that.
Yeah, I think it did. I think it definitely helped me focus on just coaching.
100%. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Focus on coaching. My question was more about your more detailed, precise thing that you just said. You said your goal was to hone in on just being a coach. And do you think in that time, from what you were doing, it made you the best coach you could possibly be?
No, it set me on the path.
Set you on the path. Okay. I would agree there. I would say definitely set you on the correct path. Cause like I had the same thought with my situation where it was like,
I'll put it like this to you. I think there was a faster way to become a world-class coach.
100%. And we just didn't take those.
We didn't know them. So I'm saying like Hefe didn't know much about CrossFit. He just didn't want to see the gym fall apart. He was just getting into it, which again, I appreciate everything he's done. But at the same time, having not any experience with it, like he didn't have any direction for me. So it's like all self-starter stuff, which again, I think over the grand course of the 3 years he owned it, it was just very slow for me to progress to the next steps. It's a lot of self-discovery, taking courses, trying to learn stuff, trying to apply it. Whereas like, I don't know if you and I had a coach that was super eager, like we could put them on the path
and get them there very quickly.
Let's run through this. Let's do this development.
Well, more like you're saying, we can remove the even having to go to courses. Like, hey, still go, because like obviously we don't have the tools that like Berger or any of them, Bergner can give them on the weightlifting as quickly. Like we can, like you're saying, we can now give them the stepping stones. Be like, cool, here's points of performance, learn that. Here's how you're going to become an autocratic coach. Perfect. Now we're going to move on to the next steps. Here's now, like, you've mastered this. Let's go to the next and the next and the next and the next. And we layer it, which is like the CrossFit methodology. If you look at the CrossFit methodology and use that in life, which then layers in. I've just like had this really interesting, we talk about this a lot in our at work. Anybody in the chat wants to double tap on this, the difference between a methodology and a process. And the methodology is a foundational piece that the whole corporation we follow. Everybody follows the methodology. That's the same deal in CrossFit. It's like everybody follows methodology. Chat, if you're out there, dude, I'm talking to you, my guy. I could double tap. I'm still trying to learn it, because it's like one of those things that I need to kind of understand to have a better conversation with. In the CrossFit space, I really understand it in the sense of like, here's a level 1 manual, fucking know it inside and out, and then you can do what you want with it, but always go back to this. This is the holy grail. Every answer you need is in here, and you can answer it in different ways, but it should always come back to this methodology. Whereas in the process is like the steps of how you're going to do it. It could essentially be done differently.
So how would you define methodology? Like, is it a set of rules, a set of facts, a set of...
So that's where that, like, right,
principles.
That's the hard part. We just had this conversation at work, and they really labeled it correct, like really nicely. I don't remember it. And like, it didn't stick because it was too complex. It wasn't short and sweet the way they defined it.
I get process, right? I think you've said it just now, but it's like, I feel like process is how you present the methodology to other people, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or like the progression. Like, there are several ways to get it done. They always refer to it as like baking the cake. And it's like, we're going to bake the cake, and here's how you're going to do it. And here are the ingredients. You're going to put the ingredients in it, but then the methodology comes in where it's like, no, you got to let the butter sit out on the counter and let it get to room temp before you add the butter. And then you're going to do that. So that's like in the snatch. It's like, well, you got to master the hang position before you're going from the ground.
Baking the cake. The recipe is the methodology.
The recipe is the methodology, yes.
And what's the process?
The process is how you're going to put it together.
The recipe?
Yeah. Okay. Because everybody can interpret it differently, correct? Yeah. But then it's like, we just have to make fine-tuned tweaks to it and to get better and better and better. Because it's also going to be like what works, or like what somebody says is really good.
So recipe is methodology. So for example, it says set the oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Then you're saying the process is, well, I'm actually going to do convection bake at 450 degrees. So I'm going to interpret it a little bit differently.
I think, that's process.
Okay.
If I'm following it correctly, we've had this So if we let's break it. Yeah, it's really simple. Putting the ingredients into here's the recipe, Matt. Here's the methodology. You're going to follow said methodology. Okay. Matt's going to be like, all right, if I need to bake a cake, set the oven at this, like, I'm going to follow the foundational pieces. Yeah. It's like in CrossFit, it's like, cool, I'm going to follow, okay, we need to do CrossFit is functional movements, high intensity, executed high intensity, blah, 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 the whole thing. So it's like, okay, here's my foundation. How am I going to do that? Now, how am I going to execute that? Okay.
The process is just making the workout.
Yeah. And making it like hit those things. Is it functional? Am I doing it somewhat high intensity? Am I doing it? What's the last piece? Cross broad times the modal domain. Constantly varied. Am I going through that process, or following the methodology and then making this into my process or my progression? So going back to what you were saying about the gym and becoming a coach, right? A coach, we have the methodology laid out now, if we fast forward, and then the process. Okay.
Yeah.
So we were talking essentially about like, how are you?
So even at that time, I don't even think I really understood the methodology.
Yeah, 100%. Like I don't think
it wasn't until my L3 that it really
sunk in,
started to sink in. Again, more self-discovery, more self-learning. I think Luke and I were just taking calls together where we'd read a chapter of this manual and then try to recite it back, talk about what we learned, what we memorized, and then
that's exactly. We would take the methodology and then we would create a process in our head.
Yeah. So then fast forward, bring it back on track about agile decision making.
Yeah.
So I coached under Jefe for a while, and then
saying you coached under Jefe makes it seem like he was your mentor.
I'm sorry, I was just coaching under the business entity that
Jefe
created.
So you were at FFF coaching and developing yourself as an individual, because I would say you've personally changed a lot owning the gym or becoming a coach. Like, right, your personality has to be very different from like any other job.
And I will say, as time progressed there, I can't say that I was eager to start CrossFit as a business. I was pretty much getting what I needed. I was moving up the ladder. I think I had L4 at the top of mind at the time. But like while he was doing that, I appreciate Jefe because he was very open with me, very like, what's the word? Visible. Like he told me everything with business, like there was struggles he was going through, profit
So he was
loss.
super transparent.
And the more he told me, the more I was like, I'm just glad that right now I'm not doing that kind of stuff. So fast forward, Jefe.
Well, do you think that was an issue? Because if we're going to be talking about agile, so on the table so far, we have to go back and we want to talk about the first topic that we went over, which was, what was the big thing I said in the beginning, chat? Does anybody remember?
Agile.
No, making decisions or something else, but whatever. Then to double tap on that, do you think personal issues that like rooted with, not issues, but personal principles in your head, like money, for example, like spending the money on owning a gym, was that going through your process or your head as well?
No, because I have the security of my day job. I just think it was the stress of running a business. And actually, I will say, it's not just Jefe. I got it from you too, because you were, running your own business.
So it was always,
and you were telling me pain points and things and stuff like that. That was a struggle. And I was just like, I'm glad that I can just focus on coaching right now and not have to worry about all that other stuff. So again, I feel like it worked out. But fast forward, Jefe came to a point where with his full-time job, he needed to sell the gym. Hence, it was proposed to me once again. And then at that time, I guess I kind of flipped the script.
You were ready at that point.
I don't know if I was ready, but I felt like I needed to loosen the reins a little bit and not try to control my own destiny.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. Like, okay, here's another time that this gym has presented itself for me to own. Like, I shouldn't be so stubborn of like building it from the ground up and like leaving California and starting over. Cause it was like, you were kind of also reinforcing that it's a hard road to build from the ground up. Like, and you even got as far as like, all right, you started to network a little bit. All right, you started to increase your membership base. And then you hit a block of like, okay, well, this next step of like, I need to expand and move out of my current space to a bigger space was actually a fucking huge hurdle.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Several months of delay. Yeah.
I mean, it never even worked out.
Yeah.
And it was just like, in our heads, it's like, yeah, we'll grow small and then we'll just find a place like easy. Right.
Yeah.
But like, in reality, that was a fucking hard challenge.
I mean, like, we'll talk about that. You even having a current space. And when you were dealing with the landlords, was like, I'm already in this space. The business is running. Why are you putting more blockers up?
Yeah.
Like they were literally throwing shit at your face. That was like none of this. Here, we're going to present you with new blockers. And it's like, well, why are these new blockers? All of a sudden, the gym has been here 10 years. Yeah. Why are now we getting presented with like noise issues? And why are we getting presented with this? Why are we getting presented with parking and putting water in the parking lot and like all these like very things? And like, oh, the rubber mats on the floor. It's like, no.
And not to mention the space is still too big.
Yeah.
Like, for what we have right now.
But that would go back to the part where it's being agile. Okay. So you now buy the gym.
Yep. Okay. So I made the decision to finally just own a gym.
Okay.
Again, based off of, I felt confident as a coach. I felt like
I
would hate to see this gym collapse
Uh-huh.
and this community that was built just fall apart. I've grown to appreciate the culture. And also, I was a big player in helping create the new culture that this gym evolved.
That's what I was just going to ask. Yeah. So you were head coach at this gym. You were the face of the gym 24/7. Like, you were there a lot.
Yeah.
And the members knew that the owner of the gym, that he was the owner, he would coach, but you were there most of the time.
Yeah.
Coaching. So like the core classes, which are the afternoon classes, you were running, which at that point, whatever the culture was yours. Like, whatever was created was 80% your culture. We know there were some other issues that we're not even going to talk about, where it was like, these members are yours. So buying the gym, did that make it easier for you to like actually purchase? Because it was like in your head, these members, whatever the culture was what you created. Yeah. There was no way the old culture was still there. Yeah. And if it was like they would fizzle out at some point on their own.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So this made that process was easier for you to then go ahead and purchase it.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there at some point like a green light that went off in your head that you were like, I know you said the destiny thing, like, hey, this gym has been presented to me fucking 10 times. Now I need to go ahead and make the decision and actually, or make the leap and go do it. I need to dial in.
More just like, is this a sign? Like, is this the way it's supposed to be, kind of thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when something keeps happening, it's like, how many times are you going to reject it?
Well, yeah, that's kind of with me moving to California, right? Like, I've done it 3 times now, and it's like always something different. It was first like, I'm just going to do it. I have money saved, and then I coached at the gym, and then this Procore opportunity was like, okay, like you said, when am I going to actually do one of these things that works? At some point, you got to try it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you purchased the gym. Destiny presented itself. Yada yada yada. You go through this process. You buy it. Now you're running it. We'll fast forward. Let's go. Yeah. Let's go current day. Let's go actually let's go before I moved here.
Okay.
So we are owning the gym now for 8 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So almost a full year, 11 months. Yeah, because November. Okay. So now you own the gym. I'm still not here. Present it. Luke's not moving yet. Where are you at? We're in October 1st.
It's going good.
It's going good. You're getting everything you want. You're feeling great.
Lease is about to expire.
Okay, lease is about to expire. Are you thinking to yourself, this was a good decision? I want to resign, or I don't want to resign, or I don't know? You don't have to disclose this either if you don't want to.
No. I was in the camp of re-signing, but I just needed to make sure Trill was on board.
Mm-hmm.
Trill had gotten her L1 and she was starting to coach more. Just because the mornings are really tough for me. But yeah, I think I was pretty sold on re-signing. Reasons being, just started to feel like, we've gotten through the hurdle of like being in shock that you actually own a fucking business and people depend on you and there's fucking bills to be paid.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, like when I first owned that business, like I'm sure it was different for you because you were building yours. For me, it's just like, oh yeah, you inherit all this shit and you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, and you got to clean it up. You got to clean up all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Like if there's a class, like you're saying, if there's a class you didn't want to coach, it was there.
Yeah.
You can't just strip it down because people are going to be like, all right, well, fuck you.
So like 11 months in, I was like, we were both just starting to feel like
burned out.
No, not burned out, that we were like getting the hang of it.
Okay.
So it would be weird to just like, yeah, we just got the hang of it. Let's shut it down.
Yeah. Okay. So now things are flowing. You have people coaching. You feel comfortable actually doing the business side. Yeah. Like you understanding.
Commercial leases are fucking bullshit.
Holy shit. You bought the gym done. These things we had a lag issue.
Yeah. Holy crap. We just spiked.
Luke, what's your 22? We'll come back to the chat. We had a lag issue. So are you satisfied with your decision to own this gym? Hi, bros. And like, welcome. The chat is popping off today. Okay. So now you purchased the gym. You and Trill are feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
Fast forward. Now we re-sign the lease. I'm here. I'm living here. My job obviously doesn't allow me to coach as much as we would like.
Yeah.
And everybody's job essentially, and like everybody's
which is expected. I remember trying to have that conversation with you when we were hashing out your roles, but hey, you got to learn the hard way sometimes.
I mean, I knew probably deep down it was more, I don't know if it was like more of like to make myself feel like I wasn't going to lose coaching, or if it was like, am I going to be coaching enough? Like coaching once a week or twice a day, not once a week, twice a day, once a day is good enough.
Yeah.
It like gets the job done for now. Yeah. It's like at some point, will we have more? Probably. At some point, will all of us be coaching less? Like, will you feel less burned out and put all your fucking heart into one class?
I think you're in your green. So like when you grow in your career,
yeah,
you'll have more time.
Yeah, I agree with you. Once I'm into a different role.
Like if you take the path Chet took, for example, where it's like you're an individual contributor for a small window a year.
Mm-hmm.
and then you move to management.
Yeah, then then
you start creating the life you want outside of work. So like I know Chet's really good at creating processes and systems so that he can be completely hands off.
Yeah. Okay, but based off of that, so now we own the gym. You have it. I'm here coaching. Let's go present day.
Okay.
Let's reflect back. You own the gym. You have the lease. You're pretty happy with it. Changing different things, the name, the branding, etc.
Still doing that.
Wrap your life into it. How agile do you think you are on a scale of 1 to 10? Can't be 7.
On.
How quickly are you able to make decisions now based off the experiences you've had?
Probably a 5.
A 5. Okay, 5 out of 10. Couldn't be a 7. Where do you think the hangups are?
I'm just not good at making decisions. Okay. I think too much.
You think too much. So if there was one thing that you
that's a good point though. I will say when the opportunity to buy the gym the second time, there was no time to really think.
So you had to do it.
It was like you have to make the call. I think which helped me make the decision.
That's interesting. Okay.
Forced
to make the decision.
Forces people to make decisions when there's like some time constraint. It was either because you got to think about it. It was like, hey, here's the gym you go to, you coach at, you work at, and you're part of, and the community you're part of. It's either going to disappear, you're going to have nothing. And I know you and I have talked about it. We're not really big fans of the other places to work out around here. So it's like, all right, you're going to work out it's either you can buy this gym, try to build this community, still have a place and a group of people that are kind of your allies, or you're just going to work out by yourself in the garage.
Yeah.
Start all over.
Yeah. Which is like at the point you didn't want to. Okay.
No.
And I
was kind of like, if I didn't make the decision for the gym, that's what I was going to have. Like immediately, like that gym was going to fold.
Because you thought to yourself, I'm not going to any of the gyms around here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. So being agile, what if I, took the magic wand, the Harry Potter shit. Anybody out there knows Harry Potter? Tori, I know you do. Let's answer the chat real quick. Rose and Tori are talking about love.
7's a cop out, Tori. Anytime you ask someone to rate something on a scale, make sure you leave out 7 because it's the safe
bet.
Answer.
Ask it. Everyone's going to be like, hey, how attractive do you think I am? A 7.
Yeah.
Well, because you're not an 8, you're not a 6. A 7's like, right, 70%. Who doesn't want it? It's the passing score on a test in school.
I think it's more like how attractive am I? And they're like, nah, you're a 6, but they don't want to say that.
Yeah. So they say a 7 because it's, so you got to just take 7 out of any opportunity presented to you. But we go through there. Magic wand, boom, hits you. One thing that you can change, what would it be? Like if it like perfectly. Like if I spun the magic wand at you, hit you, and you can have the perfect scenario, what would be that thing that you would change?
I would be living in a place.
Oh shit! We just discovered something fucking crazy. You'd be living elsewhere.
Be living elsewhere, and I'd be starting from the ground up. I'd have a barn.
Okay, so a different gym.
But I don't even know if this place exists.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it does either.
I don't regret any of the decisions. Like,
okay,
it's like we were talking about with you. It's like we're here, obviously, for some fucked up reason.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to pull away from the CrossFit gym owning situation. Okay. I just move some of this shit out of my way. So we're going through this, right? I heard this on a podcast that we listened to. We used to really like these guys. But it's not from them. They stole, I don't know what book it's from. Again, Chet, you might be able to double tap on this, dude, at some point. You'll jump in and help out. But the salt shaker situation, or like the salt shaker goes in the center of the table, right?
Yep.
And we're going to refer to that as the methodology, or we're going to refer to that as
What do you mean by the salt shaker?
Expert kayaking, good backpedaling. So
he's a weird dude.
So we're going to go computer science. The kernel. What's the kernel in computer science? Chet. The kernel in computer science, isn't that like the core, right? That's the center.
Yeah, it's like the general.
The general, yeah. So they are that we always have to refer back to, right? So that's the methodology. You cannot run the computer without the core processor or the general, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the same concept as the salt shaker. I put the salt shaker in the center of the table because everybody around us, all of us are eating. So it's you, me, Trill, Kendall, and some other friends, right? We're all around this table.
Oh shit, hold on, we're gonna take a little break here. We're live at the marathon.
I don't think you guys are gonna see Rocky's end, but I just wanted to
marathon. We're gonna talk about agile. Yeah, let's dive into some sports.
Yeah, holy crap. So Trill, where are you right now?
We're at the marathon. I don't think you can see.
Nice. Who's running in right
Kendall,
now?
you finished already?
Yeah, she's already done. She got a PR.
All right, so we got one of our members, Rocky. She's been training for this for, geez, how long?
Not that long. November, right? She decided she was going to do it? December. She hasn't. 2 months.
2 months.
2 months.
She's
January,
doing a
February.
Half marathon, which is 13 miles. Trill's at the finish line. Do you know if she's close?
No, we just had the 145 pacer run through, so that's about a 9-minute mile average.
Okay, so she's about a 10-minute mile.
Yeah, so she'll be a little bit behind.
Interview this guy behind you.
But just want to call in, show you that we're out here supporting. Nobo, I got it.
Nobo, yeah, that's a true supporter right there. There's some other people we know that don't support Nobo, like you, Trill.
Nice, Trill. We'll have to call back in when she's crossing that finish line. We'll get a in-person interview with you.
And decision making, agility. We're talking about agility.
Thanks, guys. You guys have fun.
All right. So, Colonel, salt, pepper, or the salt's in the center of the fucking table, and you always have to go back to the center, right? So we can move the salt shaker around because we have to become agile. We have to make different changes, but the salt shaker always is going to go back. So it's the concept of.
I think you're still throwing me with the salt shaker.
I'm going to bring
What's
it
the importance of it. So it's the salt. Is it because everyone needs salt?
Yeah, the salt shaker always go to a restaurant. Usually in the center of the table is salt, pepper, ketchup. Candle. And yeah, okay, we're at a ghetto restaurant.
Fancy restaurant.
Yeah, I mean,
forgot this guy's bougie.
Yeah, we ain't at some ghetto shit.
That's all right. I hang out with Rico a lot.
Yeah, Rico's favorite place to eat has ketchup, and he probably has fucking mustard and like those little jellies too. Yeah. He steals those. Okay, so you're at a restaurant.
Because like the salt shaker to me is not the Colonel. Like I feel like the Colonel's the thing executing and telling and dispatching all these different.
Okay, we could do that. All right, let's go to the Colonel. Let's make it really complicated.
Well, no, because no one knows computer science.
Well, we're gonna break it down. I just have a fear if we get Chet on here, he's gonna not make this concept easy. Chet, Tori, if you're still there, a 7. Don't always pick it. See, you always pick it because it's the fucking easiest one.
Thing. That's hot sauce is the
yeah, exactly.
You can't even have hot sauce.
Yeah,
like stop bullshit.
Yeah.
People.
Have you guys read the Sunk It Cost? Idea that you can't change your mind once you've sunk a certain amount of time or money into the project. We'll put this up for you too. Anybody who can't see that, read that out loud.
I'm sure Chet have heard of that. I feel like I've heard you mention that, Chet. Is that true? You have any context there? You can't change your mind once you've sunk in a certain amount of time or money into a project that holds so many people back. That you can't. See, I would think for me, it would be the other way around.
You would fear what? Well, it's a concept. I think I've heard this. I think they've talked about it again at work. They talk about a lot of this stuff. I've never read the book, but they talk about this in the idea of companies because we deal with a lot of people that are like, look, man, we understand our processes suck and like are really detrimental. There's not an ROI is really bad. Or the amount of time that it's taking for them to actually implement this is fucking long. Like our business is suffering because it's taking 18 months for implementation. And it's like, cool. You're going to have to spend a lot of money. There's going to be a lot of changes. And when we talk to the CEOs, like I have conversations with them like, look, buddy, I can't do anything because we spent so much money now. And now, like you just said right there, Tori, is like, you can't change your mind because now you've sunk in. They put time. Like he's always like, we spent the last 18 months implementing this. And it's like the last 18 months, you know how much has changed in the world and software? Okay, that's an issue. But then for them, it's the amount of money.
So for you, do you feel like you fall victim to this?
Me?
I have my opinion.
I don't think I fall victim to it as much because
I don't think you do.
No.
I mean, how much time and money did you put into your last business and you were able to quickly pivot out of it?
Yeah. Or I would even look at something like the car.
Yeah, the car is another good one. It's okay to pivot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the whole being agile.
Okay. So you go through those things. How do you combat somebody who is struggling to be agile? Like what are some tactics there? We do a lot of that. And it's like, you need at work, the simple thing is like, we need to find the champion. We need to find somebody who has fucking pain, clout, knowledge, and they are struggling. So if we're going through this issue, how are we going to help you become more agile? You need to identify pain. You need to identify.
So identifying pain would be like calling out that, hey, what you're doing right now, regardless of what you put into it, isn't working.
Yeah. But it's like, but you can't just flat out say that to somebody. Like, I can't say to you, like, hey, Eric, what you're doing isn't working on this project, man. I'm not referring to this, Eric.
Yeah, he should be writing this stuff down, though.
Yeah, you should be. But going through this, right? It's like, cool. In the gym, we'll refer to a gym. Super simple. It's like, I'm not losing weight. Okay. Well, why is that? They need to be the one that actually decides that. If anybody out there
to this fallacy, I'm not losing weight and I'm putting all this time and money into the gym. Right? That'd be the kind of and plan to fail.
Yeah, I would agree. Plan to fail, but it depends. Depends on plan to fail, right? Yeah, double tap on that, chat to explain that a little bit more for me. Give me a situation or scenario that you would.
It sounds like he's saying try not to be so reliant on when that finish line happens for these goals or projects that you have set, for example.
But you should be.
I want a gym with 200 members by Christmas of this year. Like he's saying, reduce the reliance on that Christmas of this year goal.
Okay. So.
And plan to not hit 200 members. Like,
okay.
What does that look like?
But the reference back to the gym would be like, to even identify this, you need to come into the gym, and it's going to be like, to answer to what he's saying there. Don't put a date on it, right? Is that what he's saying?
Yeah.
So it's like,
back to your weight loss member,
okay.
Right?
So, hey, I'm not, it's been 6 months now and I'm not losing weight. It's like, okay. So now you need to make them discover what the issue is without you telling them. Like, you already know, like, okay, dude, I drove past In-N-Out every day and I saw you there. Okay. But I'm not going to say that. Be like, all right, man, tell me about your diet. Like, do discovery, but open-ended questions. Like, you need to ask, like, hey, like, what's your diet? Like, tell me a little bit about that. Well, oh, dude, you eat, like, I like In-N-Out too. How many times do you eat it a week?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, 7? Okay. Well, that might be one of the problems.
Could I say something like, hey, has work been really busy? I've just noticed you've only been coming twice a week.
Yeah, you could say that.
Yeah.
But that's a closed-ended question. You just said, hey, please give me the yes or no answer.
I only see you come here twice a week. Like, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, hey, dude, like, yeah, why haven't you been here? Like, when in the beginning you were coming 6 days a week, and then all of a sudden now we've pivoted back. Now you're down to 1 to 2 times a week. Like, tell me a little bit about that. Explain that to me.
Yeah.
And then, well, what's that like for your mental health? Well, why is this happening? So my point there is like, right, they just start to do discovery. All of a sudden they're thinking in the back of their head, they're like, oh, fuck, I do go to In-N-Out 7 days a week.
Yeah.
That's really bad. I'm spending a lot of money. That's stressful for me. So now I'm working more because I'm always going out and eating. I'm eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner out. I'm also I'm unemployed, or this is happening or that happening. And all of a sudden, all these things come in and they're like, he's right. I need to get back into the gym. I need to work out more. I need to stop eating like this. Help me. Help me. I'm not losing weight. And all of a sudden, right, it's like, well, here's the idea. I'm going to present this to you. It's like, cool. We can go 2 ideas. Business would be like, cool, as the coach, now I just made another business because they have the money. Yeah. So they're going to pay for the nutrition service. And now they're going to come to the gym more. And now they're going to show that I care. Like, because you also are just curious of what their issue might be. So,
Rico, I think the motivation from when you plan to fail comes from is the lessons learned from failing.
Yeah. So what Chet said above that, he said, expect to fail, get back up, learn from it, and try again. It's part of the plan. I would agree, but you need to be aware of those things. Would you agree, Chet? Agreed, Eric. We got a fucking live chat. T-Par dropping in. Agreed, Eric. I was going to say that failing shouldn't be expected because it becomes an excuse. If it happens, you learn from it, but you don't plan it to begin.
Interesting take, T-Par.
T-Par, if you got a minute, drop in here. We'll live interview. I'd love to, talk. I've got T-Par. Was one of my OG CrossFit members. She trusted me, hated CrossFit. She used to come to the gym every day. She didn't hate it, but she used to come to the gym every day and would always just be scared. Like, not scared, but she didn't want to. She was like, no, I can't do that. I can't do that. Then all of a sudden, rewind 6 months, T-Par would be like 6 a.m.er, the only one there. She'd be ready, cold, rain, snow, whatever it might be, always there. At some point, I don't know if it was the other coach, Nikki, talking to her or whatever, but at some point there was some discovery, and all of a sudden was like full send CrossFit. Was like, I see the value, I see the benefit, I feel better, I feel happy. I can't answer for her, but I would assume at some point some of these things went through your head a little bit.
Yeah.
So that would be like the agileness in your life. Peace out, T.
T-Par, I think the failing being expected is to kind of counter the people that put all their eggs in the basket of hitting this goal, and then when they don't hit it, it's just complete shutdown. Well, I'm just giving up on that. I think the idea of planning to fail is just making it so that when you do fail, your plan is to learn from whatever those failures may have been, or what you're, kind of expecting. Like, okay, I didn't lose 100 pounds in 4 months, but I did lose 50 pounds. How can I keep going with this? How can I build momentum versus just like, well, fuck it, then I'm going back to in and out kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
what's wrong with Tesla's not charging?
Yeah, it's just like being weird.
What's it say?
Yeah, who knows? Just we'll figure it out.
Technology.
Yeah, technology's shit.
But yeah,
gotta
that's my opinion.
Okay.
You lost your train of thought.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought. Somebody,
also, if anyone wants to J up, we'll throw it down. Click this link.
Yeah.
Rico, you're more than welcome. Chat, you're more than welcome.
Anybody, just click the link.
Holy shit, we're 45 minutes in and we missed the guest time.
Not the Twitch one. Don't click the Twitch one. If you want to do a live, you got to do the StreamYards, the Novo podcast, streamyards.com/1i44, whatever it is. Click that, chat. We can do as many as you want. All of you guys hop in at once, but whatever it might be.
You had to make a big decision switch here.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about that?
Yeah. Which part? A lot changed.
Well, let's talk about, you were supposed to be at that marathon.
All right.
Let's talk about your decision to kind of pivot.
All right. So pivoting, a couple of things I have on that. We could really dive into that. But
have you ever done a marathon?
I've never done the marathon.
Right.
Okay.
Is this a bucket list item?
Not a bucket list in like the front of mine, but in the back of mine, I'd be like, I would like to. Yeah, at some point, I would say I want to do it. I don't know if I would want to do it on a fucking freezing cold day like today. For some reference, it snowed yesterday here. We're in Southern California.
Snowed at the beach.
Snowed at the beach. Yeah, the beach. Again, and snow, when we say snowed, the sand was covered, right? It was white. Yeah. Santa Barbara covered in snow. Mountains covered in snow. We had hail here. I'd love to see Chet on here too, but celebrate the good. Don't focus on the failures. So that was kind of like to go in. So no, I did not do the marathon. We signed up today. Me and Kendall bailed. Kendall was sick last week, and I'm
Jade up kind of as a team.
Yeah, Jade up as a team. Like,
yeah. I did the same thing.
I could have done it by myself, but it was like, for me, it was like, cool, I'm not going to do this. I would have hated running. And if I had a good experience, no matter what, like if I did well or enjoyed the endorphins from running, I would have hated it because of the fucking cold. Yeah. So for me, it was like, this is a personal no-brainer. Pivoting was like, I would much rather do this in the fucking heat. Yeah. I'd much rather run. I'd much rather be able to take my shirt off and fucking have sweat and be like telling people like, hey, I need a sweatband or get me more salt or whatever. I would much rather that. And overall, your body feels better. Your muscles move better. So
how did you not fall victim to, because you put a good amount of training into this, right? A lot of runs.
Yeah, we did a lot of runs. Kendall would disagree that we did training for it. But I would say, like, right, if you take the CrossFit methodology, which we're not going to talk about, but it would be like, hey, I do a lot. I work out 6 days a week in the gym. We do workouts with running. I would hop on. There was days I would show up early and rip the ski erg and do like different interval training there. And then we would go on fucking runs. We've done 10-mile runs. We've done a lot of 5-mile runs. If you add that all up, we probably done 30 to 50 miles of running, which in my eyes, all we needed to do for endurance wise was like literally load up our tendons and get used to running. So we trained a lot. Moral of the story.
But to me, it sounds like your confidence in the methodology that you're doing means that you could just do the marathon whenever. So it means it's easier for you to pivot.
Yeah, it was much easier.
So like talking about that project fallacy where they're saying you've put all this time and money into preparing for the marathon. Yeah. For you, it's just time, but even still,
well, once
you put money, you had to buy tickets.
Yeah, we had to buy tickets. I had to buy shoes. I had to buy socks. We had to buy like the fucking shaving cream.
But
all
this
that.
idea of lesson learn or just knowing the CrossFit methodology and what it does for you.
Not even the method.
It makes it easier for you to just pivot to push back the date. Like you could run a marathon.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the training. It's like if you said to me, hey, we're going to run tomorrow, I'd be like, fuck, okay, we're running a marathon tomorrow. Whereas like other people would be like, I can't. Again, like Kendall was very nervous that she couldn't. Yeah. And it was like, I don't disagree that like, I'm not dismissing your thoughts and your feelings about it, but on a training standpoint and understanding of how the body works, you could do it. Like I would strongly, like, I'm not saying you can run the whole thing, and I'm not saying you're going to finish sub 6, but everybody that I know who has done a lick of CrossFit, a decent amount of CrossFit, a year we'll call it, can do it. I don't know if it's going to be running or walking, but you're going to have the mental fucking grit, in my opinion, to do it. whether you want to believe it or not. That's a whole different fucking twist.
Okay.
You tell yourself stories. You might not believe it. That's the, again, whole different story. Like that's what we were talking about last week, the arousal state. Like how quickly or how well can you control your arousal state to stay sound before you get to the peak. So like in the marathon, it would be like, you need to stay sound well into like the first 10 miles. Halfway through might be the peak. For some people, you need, if you want to keep running, you need to drop it down. Or like an ultra marathon, you need to stay like the 26 miles. You got to be peaking like only halfway there.
Yeah.
So I think anybody who's done CrossFit could run a marathon. And again, I'm not saying it would be comfortable. You're going to be in pain no matter what.
And do you feel like that makes it easier for you to kind of pivot? I think you said that earlier.
Yeah, I think it makes it easier to pivot. Yeah, because I think I understand what pain feels like in that sense. Like I was trying to explain this.
If the roles were reversed, what would your decision be? So if you got sick Monday, feeling better by Thursday, what would you have decided?
Probably no.
Weather's still the same.
Weather's still the same. I would have probably postponed it just for like, I'm not feeling 100%. I've been there. I know what it feels like. It's not worth it because also I'm not dismissing at all what a marathon would do to you. Yeah. Like 26 miles, we did like the simple math, 400 calories an hour, 5 hours, 4 hours, you're burning at least active calories, 2,500 plus calories. And like if I was sick and wasn't eating and doing all this, it's like that's a lot of stress. And then your central nervous system just got destroyed from being sick. And it's like if you want to get sick again, go do it. Or if like disappointment because all of a sudden halfway through the marathon you're really feeling bad, like the pain is going to be real. You've been there.
Yeah. So
being agile in the sense of like understanding why you're making certain decisions and how you made them and being able to divert and bounce around, I think that's huge.
What was your goal, your big goal for the marathon?
For me, just to do it with little, like you said, when you did it, same thing. And I'm not stealing this from you. It's like, I think I could do it with little training. So I'm going to stick to that because like, I believe in the methodology of CrossFit. Yeah. And again, if it was like, hey, I'm trying to go to the Boston Marathon, it'd be like, you need to fucking train.
Are
like
you trying to enjoy it at all?
Enjoy it in the sense of, because that's why, like, if I'm going on a run in the freezing cold, I wouldn't enjoy it. I'd be like, my hands are cold, my feet are wet, my pants are fucking freezing. I'm wearing long pants and I'm sweating, but if I take them off, I'm going to freeze. So like, that's not enjoying. And like the fucking scalding heat is just as bad, but I would much rather that situation, being able to wear like shorts and no shirt and a sweatband or a hat and whatever it might be to run. I would much rather that situation than like freezing and sweating kind of, but also not sweating. Yeah. Like it's cold out there. Like my car, I tried to charge it this morning and it wouldn't charge because it's cold. Like that's what we were just looking at. I'm not even sure if it's charging.
Chet, just because you're eating, man, doesn't mean you can't pop on the old cast right here. Don't need the perfect studio. You can just pop in, man. Love to chat with you about, decision making and being agile. Rico, you too, man. I'm sure you got a lot of input here. We could also run you through some training.
Yeah, we would love
usually the time we take some guests. Like we're about 50 minutes in.
Yeah, we're about to wrap it up. Pivoting, making decisions. I could start ripping some text links out to people, but
we also haven't talked about the CrossFit Open, so we'll pivot here soon. Where's Jamie been? Is he working today?
Jimmy, my boy, hop in. Hop in. BT's really excited because he got the same score as me.
Tara, did you do the Open if you're still here?
Well, I'll just send these links.
23.2.
Is it in the chat? Is it in our Discord channel?
Yes. And the links. Oh no, that's the YouTube. Yeah,
I got it. It's in there. Yeah. Who do you want me to send this to?
Anyone.
T-Par, are you out there?
Yeah, T-Par. Click the link in the YouTube comments.
She didn't do it.
She didn't do it. What happened?
We'll get her in.
We had a lady in Friday night who did the foundations, she was an older lady. She was in her.
How old was she?
I think she
70s, 60s,
60s or 70s, somewhere in there. Without Luke, I was too intimidated. You would have crushed it. It was one of those, grindy workouts. But yeah, we had a 67-year-old lady, and I just kept telling her, like, because she was really nervous too, Tara, kind of probably like you, like very intimidated at first because we were doing Friday Night Lights style, open heats, people just jumping in whenever. But I was like, basically all you're going to do is lay on the floor, then you're going to get back up, and you're going to do a tiny little hop. And then I was like, you're going to walk to that line and come back.
Well,
that's all the workout was.
What do you think, Tara? Maybe you can double tap on this. It's my word of the day, double tap. I think I got that from work. Everybody says that. Like, look, you can double tap on this if you want. But going through, like, what is the intimidating factor? Is it the fact that it is like the workout and it's being scored in a competition setting? Is it the fact that everybody else is doing it and like really blacking out and pushing hard? Is it the fact that like what I want to really understand? Like what
Tara, you'd have to jump on here because like we're in such different places now. Like you and I have been doing this for over 7
years,
9 years.
There she is, T-Par. You don't have to turn the camera on. That's
Tara's
fine.
new, so it's a little bit different.
Tara, can you hear us?
She have some audio issues.
Yeah, she's a tech person. She'll figure it out. Enable the she's either not having service. Yeah, I've heard double tap 200 times.
Write that next time you speak, dude.
Rick, if you don't
Procore, you're gonna have to use that terminology.
Yeah, terminology.
Understand it. I want you to have a written definition by the end of the day. Send it over.
That you have audio
Tara,
issues.
You still got audio issues.
If you're talking, just press the like the mic or turn. You didn't approve it to say audio, so maybe leave it and then redo it. But who else didn't do the Open that we know? Sarah and Vince. I don't think they did this week.
Yeah, but I think it'd be interesting to hear Tara's perspective on the intimidation factor, because like I said, you and I have been doing it for a while, so we look at this and we go, oh, there's nothing intimidating about this workout. Like you're just, doing burpees and running.
Well, there's
even when I was watching like everyone do it, I was like, oh, yeah,
it really says friendly. I'm in the show.
There, we can hear you. All right, Tara.
Yes.
Can you hear us? Welcome.
Rose,
I can hear you.
Do it either.
Tara, what was your thoughts? Well, so far, what's been new? How's it going? How's the CrossFit space?
All good. It's not bad. It's not bad. There's a couple of coaches there that I really like, but I don't think you know any of them.
No, probably. No, I would probably know some of them. But
Celeste, Kelsey.
No.
Karen. Well, Ricky, you know him.
Yeah, I know Ricky. I know Karen. No, actually, I don't know Karen. That's Reese's mom, right?
No, she's young. This Karen.
Oh, no, I don't know her. But all right, overall, so you started CrossFit. Let's rewind. You started CrossFit, like I was saying in the beginning, 2 years ago.
Yep, October. 2 years ago.
Yeah,
October.
2 years. What was your initial thought? Like, why were all of a sudden you were like, oh, fuck it, I'm going to do CrossFit today?
Because you and Nikki kept saying, just try it. We'll scale it for you. We'll. And I was bringing Nick anyway, so I thought, fuck it, let's just see what happens.
So you tried it. Day one. Do you remember your first workout?
No, but I do remember the first stretch you made me do is that one, the cow stretch, and I couldn't even do it. And I was like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Which immediately did you think to yourself, the fuck is this shit? I'm not doing this.
Yeah, I was like, this ain't happening. No way. But
I think you came back the next day though.
Yeah, I think I did.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you immediately started coming 4 days a week until like you had some hamstring issues, but you immediately did. I can't remember what your first workout was. Do you remember what your worst workout was that you've done?
Thrusters. Anything with thrusters, I think, is the worst.
Yeah, everybody hates fucking thrusters, which is why you probably skipped out on this Open workout, I'm guessing.
Yes, and because I missed the first week anyway. But no, because it was in the morning. It was they were going to do it Friday morning at 5 a.m. and John was the coach, and I have nothing against John, but that's a little intimidating. And I was like, nope, I ain't going.
What's intimidating about John? Let's dig into that.
Is it that he's a male?
Yeah, maybe. Not John in general, just that I don't normally work out with him. So like maybe if it was Celeste or Karen, who I felt knew me a little bit better, maybe I would have gone. But I didn't know who the other people were either. And if they were all like core, like hard CrossFitters, I just didn't want to be in competition.
So that's part of the intimidating factor. So you got to go in at like Nobo, right? You felt comfortable, small setting at the house, all those things. Now you're in a bigger space, 5,000 square feet. You got people that you don't know all the time. Do you fear like they're like judging you, looking at you, talking about you?
Not typically, but for the Open, I would. Like 5 a.m., I got to be honest, it's very quiet. Luke, you remember how 6 a.m. was? 5 a.m. is even more quiet.
Tara, that might just be a global thing.
Yeah.
Like I could trust the 5 a.m. classes, the ones that are real easy to move. You just have to move them around. They don't talk too much. They're quiet. They just want to get it done and go to work.
Yep.
So it's probably a global thing.
Yeah, because it's early. And
you crack up.
But I'm surprised your perspective shifted then. So when with the Open, you just felt like that group would become more competitive, or did you feel like random people who weren't normal 5 a.m.ers would join up?
Random people that weren't normal 5 a.m.ers might be there. And also because even though the coach is helping and watching you, you're not being scrutinized. The Open, you're being like scrutinized. And I don't know. Okay. I just didn't do it.
So the counter, the person counting for you might cause some fear, right?
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Well, did you make friends in this class?
Yeah, the 5 a.m. Yeah, I know a lot of people. I've met them that all go there. But again, I just didn't know who was going to be there that Friday morning. Now,
Did
had I had like a Luke or a Nikki there that said, "You're coming, don't ask."
Well, did any of your gym buddies hit you up and say, "Hey, you're gonna make it there? I'd love if you were my judge."
No, I don't think I don't know who even signed up. I don't know that a lot of the 5 a.m.s were signed up when I looked at the names.
We got to have you reach out. Maybe you be that person. It's like, hey, you going? I want to be your judge and I want you to be counting for me.
All right, here's the deal. Here's my goal. Next year I'm going and I ain't going to be intimidated and I don't have to be coaxed to do it.
Yeah, okay, so that's a great goal.
Yeah, you just want to be like, cool, the Open's here, let's fucking go.
Yeah, but I knew I was going to miss the first week. That was the other issue because I was in Florida.
So the goal is next year when you're in Florida to just do a drop-in.
You know what, Luke? I didn't even think of that. I should have. You're right. I should have.
That would be
I didn't even think to look at that. Look at a gym in Naples.
If you struggle with the intimidation with random people, I think that might be hard for you.
No, because I wouldn't know those people. So what would they care?
So you mean truly random people? It makes it a little more comfortable. The fact that these people at the 5:30 go to your gym made it a little more intimidating.
Yeah, 5 o'clock. I don't know. It was just the counter. I don't like it. And what was the workout? It was the running back and forth, right?
Yeah,
the
shuttle runs and then burpee, your favorite burpee pull-ups.
Yeah, see, I can't do those. I can't pull up.
Well, the scaled option was just a burpee.
She loves burpees.
I hate them, but I can do them now. I mean, I could do them better than I did before.
It's interesting because you're a very social person.
Yeah.
I think next year you go into it and you be that kind of social butterfly. Like maybe you've got
you're the team captain
at the gym and you're like,
but Matt, I used to say this to Luke all the time. Don't forget, anytime I was ever in a class, I was always top of the class, not physically. So that's a little intimidating for me.
Well, forget the class. I mean, like if Rose was going to 5:30, you would hit her up in text and be like, Rose, you're counting for me, I'm counting for you. Let's get it done.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You got to find that person in your 5 a.m. to be like, yo, hey, Susie Q, we're teaming up on this thing.
You need to make an alliance.
Yeah.
Good point. Very good point. You're right.
Why hasn't Jay started yet? I thought he told us in November.
Please, Luke. I try. Please.
He could do it. Nick could get back into it during the open season.
Yeah, he said he's going to come back, but I don't know. That kid.
Yeah,
he
summertime.
Could be a beast.
I really like that goal, though, Tara, of doing the open, not being coerced. I think that's an important piece.
Yeah, Luke, what I tell you before, if I don't talk to myself, I do much better.
Yeah, that's also true. But pivoting, so you had we'll wrap it in and end it with the pivoting. You heard the beginning part. We talked about like pivoting and being agile and being able to make decisions quickly. You were presented with that one, right? I had to close the gym, decided to move. You pivoted. You went through a cold spell at all? Or were you right away like, fuck this, I'm going to keep doing this?
No, well, remember when you left, I was in Italy. My first trip, which was awesome. But no, as soon as I came back, I joined.
Immediately.
I knew if I didn't join, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And that was a little intimidating because I knew no one.
Yeah, but you still did it and you never would have done that before.
No.
Damn.
No, someone would have had to encourage me. So I went, and even knowing that, that wasn't the best family alliance there, but it was most convenient. And I went and met people and just did it.
I had just a great idea, but I want to bounce it off you, Tara. What if earlier in the month of February, a coach had reached out to you, a quick phone call, and was just asking where your head was at in terms of the open and kind of threw in some good tips and tricks for encouragement to get you to join? Would that have helped? Or would that have made you more standoffish?
No, probably. It probably would have helped, other than I was going to miss that first week, but it may have.
We might apply that at our business here. Maybe I'll do that next year. We'll call everybody and be like, hey, are you thinking about doing the open? If they give us hesitation, we'll try to be encouraging
and talk to them.
Yeah, I would just ask them why. Yeah, why are you hesitating? Is it the $20 or is it like that you don't think you can do it? Because I did those wall walks that time, Luke, and I was so proud of myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. I always think it's so impressive when I see new people to CrossFit or older people going upside down. I'm like, man, that's crazy. I bet they never thought they'd be going upside down.
Yeah, she had me doing those handstands against the wall, and I was determined to do one on my own, and I finally was able to do one. Karen helped me with that.
Yeah. So like Tara had this big thing. I don't know if it's still a thing, but fight or flight, right? Wasn't that one of your big things, the fight or flight mode? So she read this one time, brought in like a picture, everything fight or flight. What was that like when you literally walked in the door at ICA? Was that fight or flight? Was that high high and pumping, or were you like at that moment like I needed to do this, I need to do this, and the fight or flight kind of subsided?
Yeah, it was a just do it. Don't even think about flying because you're not. Just do it.
So that kind of faded. Do you feel like you still have that issue, fight or flight mode?
Oh yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
But like when I skipped Friday, when I make myself go 3 times a week, and when I skipped Friday, I was like, that's it. You're doing it Saturday. I don't care what the workout is. You have to go.
Gotcha.
And I
So,
did
yeah,
it.
dedicated to going 4 days a week or 5 days a week.
Yep. I got to make
is
myself.
huge.
Yeah.
That's impressive. A lot of
At
people.
5 a.m., Matt. 5 a.m.
Do you?
That's a whole another mystery to me, Tara. I don't get how people do it. I'm always impressed when I finish the 5 a.m. class.
Oh,
I
that's
think a
funny.
big part that comes from like our family though. Like that's a Lombardi trait in my opinion. Like the drive or dedication that we all do is kind of super odd. We always, no matter what, we're like, I don't care how sick I am. I don't care if I'm fucking tired. I don't care if I'm going to get this done because I do it. I don't know if it's because it's routine or we're just the type of people that are like, I'm doing it because I said I was.
Yeah, and
struggles.
I still didn't change with the at 4:30. I might hate it, but man, I'm going to be so happy at 6:10 when I'm done.
Yeah,
and
still
home.
do it. Yeah, that's all. I don't even fucking, when we coach the 5:30s here and have to wake up that early, I'm pissed.
I love getting them done early.
Yeah, you could only imagine how I am at 5:30. And I go to the office, they all talk to me, and it's just 3 of us there, and I just sit down and drink my coffee and listen to them. I don't say a word.
Do you notice,
don't
Tara,
they say
that
it's a different Luke at 3 o'clock compared to 5
It's a
a.m.?
whole different space. Yeah, they all laugh. How can I talk? You got to click the link, Rose.
Rose, you have to click the link in the comments. T-Par will show you how.
Oh, God, Matt, don't say that. I'll have to go up there.
But
You're going to ask me, do I notice what?
Yeah, you were saying something.
Oh, yeah. Do you notice? So you know how you were saying the 5:30 in the very beginning, everyone's quiet, reserved. How about after the workout?
I mean, yeah, they talk, and I mean, everybody's friendly. Once you get there, they talk and they're friendly, but it's not like a social thing like I would expect the 5 at night to be.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a party club at 5 p.m.
Yeah, like 5 a.m. is get in, get her done. Now we got to get to work.
Yeah. Well, that's also different because everybody's like on the clock, ready to go, which is super different because West Coast people show up usually 7 minutes late on the part. Like everybody in the 5 a.m. class is 7 minutes late usually. So class actually starts at 5:37. Whereas the East Coast, it was like, boom, 6 o'clock, let's start. Because if we're not out of here on time, everybody's going to give me shit.
Yeah. 5:37 class doesn't get a cool down.
Yeah, no, this is right on time, 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
that's not East Coast.
It's the East Coast attitude. It's got to be.
Yeah,
Rose,
gotta be.
you don't understand how technology works. And next time we'll get you on.
Yeah, where is she?
She doesn't know how to work
Matt,
technology.
have you seen your mother? She looks great.
Well, I'll see
She's
her
fit.
in 3-4 weeks.
Good, because she is fit.
Yeah, we just built a family calendar.
1 years old. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, we just built a family calendar. So now we know when everybody's visiting, when people are coming. You and Jay are going to Napa?
Not till next year. Who told you that?
Next year. I thought Jay said it was sooner than that.
No, it's Puerto Rico. But Maddie took a job. She's moving to New Mexico. So we got to get joined up when she's out there.
Yeah, shit. I thought she was going to Arizona.
No, it got changed and Oklahoma wouldn't let her go. She took a job in New Mexico, right outside of Santa Fe.
Oh, shit. When does she go there?
Middle of May.
We'll have to interview her for agility there.
Yeah.
She bounced
she's
and
a
moved.
hiker. Yeah, you got to talk to her for sure.
Yeah.
Well, Tara, thanks for popping in.
Sure. Thanks for starting my Sunday. You guys are the best.
Thanks for the good idea. I think next year I'll have all the coaches call a set of people and we'll check in with the open.
Yeah.
Matt, honestly, I think that would be huge. Huge.
All right, that was your idea.
Yeah, we'll patent it on there.
Oh, great. The Tara call. They're
Our
gonna hate me.
methodology.
All right. Goodbye.
All right, see you.
Bye.
All right, Matt. What do we got?
Well, we'll wrap it up with 23.2 since we're talking about it.
23.2.
Or if Rico, Chet, if you want to pop in here, stop being little babies. We can talk about Destiny.
We got a couple more minutes of time, and then we cut this in 6 minutes. We end it hard, a hard 6 minute cut. We got big shit to do. We got people still hitting the open. BT, I think me and you got the same score, so I know you're hyped about that.
Overall thoughts on the workout. 23.2 was a 2-part workout, 15-minute AMRAP, 5 burpee pull-ups, 10 shuttle runs. You added 5 reps to the burpee pull-ups every round, followed by 1 rep max thruster in 5 minutes.
Rick's always tired. Like, you're not going to be able to handle a job, dude. Chet, can you talk to the guy?
The guy needs like coaching, man.
Yeah.
He's too stubborn to accept it.
Yeah.
He'd be a good person to talk about pivoting.
Yeah. The open. Yeah, he does. He does need to, Rick, get in here, dude. I'd love to talk about some pivoting. We got a couple more minutes with you. 4 minutes and 30 seconds left. Open. He didn't sleep. Why'd you take coffee or whatever? You did caffeine at nighttime. You probably gamed all night.
He was gaming this morning, I saw.
22.3 coming, or 22.4, 23.4 basically.
Yeah.
Is going to be, or 22 point, whatever they name it. I don't know how they're naming it. I think it's going to be kettlebell something, lunges, overhead walking lunges, and snatches or something. I think it's going to be like a kettlebell complex.
And double unders?
And double under, something like that. But I'm not sure. Lots could happen there. Boxes haven't been used yet. They could do something that's going to.
There he is.
Pop a Chet.
In the woods.
Hey, what up?
Lumberjack. What are you, chopping firewood?
My firewood's already chopped. I got a pile over there.
You chop it yourself?
I did actually. Yeah, I had a tree go down. This is my backyard.
It's always a good feeling splitting wood, dude. I have the same mug, bro.
All right,
it up, dude.
Luke, is that an Ember mug? You got a gray one?
That's the newer one. It's the 2.0.
Okay, I didn't see the gray one.
Yeah, it's the 2.0. So me and Matt didn't have the same cup. We wanted, different cups.
Shit. I need to kill the other app. I'm hearing myself twice. Okay, I'm good now.
Yeah, kill the other app.
There it is.
Here, the Android phones don't do it for you.
But I was listening to this podcast and I had a question for you guys.
Yeah, let's hit it. Rip it.
So you're just talking about like the Lombardi commitment, right?
Yeah.
And then also this podcast has a topic of agility today.
Yeah.
So one of those things kind of feels more firm, and agility seems to be more, less firm, more liquid, you might say. How do you put those two concepts together? Is the Lombardi style not agile, or is there like a balanced idea there?
I don't think it's as agile. I think that's a really good fucking observation. This is why he's the CEO.
He's an analyst.
Yeah, he's an analyst. I think that's the downfall of the upbringing of Lombardis. Is we were always brought up to adapt, but there was always like restraints on it. It was always like, if you're going to do this, this needs to be done before you do this, where it's like, I need to move because of X, Y, and Z, and I'm going to do it. And like everybody in the family is very understanding of that, but everybody's also like, X, Y, and Z need to be done. Do you agree? Kind of.
I'll put it like this. I think we're both. So I'll use this example. We go on trips, right? As a family, me, Luke, Vince, some other people. We land in a town, right? We go to the one coffee shop, first coffee shop, find it, become creatures of habit. That's the coffee shop we're going to, right?
Every day. Just going to that same coffee shop. Haven't checked out any other coffee shops. That's just where we're going. Because we had a good experience.
Now we pivot, we go to another town. It's not a big deal. We're not upset. We don't miss that coffee shop. We just find a new one, and that one becomes the new routine. So I think we can adapt the routine, if that makes sense.
That sounds pretty agile to me.
Yeah. It's like an agile routine.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I would agree.
Sense?
I mean, it's literally what we did when we went to Vietnam. We literally would wake up every morning. We would go to the same coffee shop for the 4 days we were there, play cards, get the same exact drink. And then when we left, we weren't like, I missed the coffee shop, because the last day we went to a different one.
Yeah. It's like Tara's, for example, her gym shut down. She was able to pivot, and she's keeping her same routine.
Yeah.
You found something that works, and then you stuck with it.
Yeah.
How about you? Are you agile?
Well, let me give you, when I think about agility, I think about a couple things, and I do think about the stuff at work a lot. One of the concepts I think about is just the idea of trying to get from position A to position B, whatever it happens to be, in the least amount of energy spent and the least amount of time. That's one perspective. And then I have another view of it where the mechanism of being agile looks like I kind of described earlier, is more liquid. So I don't know if you guys have seen Cowboy Bebop, but there's this style that this guy has in this show where he's more liquid about his movements and the way he responds to things. And I describe it as like a balanced agility. And I do, when I think about agility, I think about liquid. And so if you had, liquid pouring, it's going to follow the same path of least resistance over time. So the idea of going to the same thing every day, if it's the path of least resistance, that's what liquid would do, right? It's going to do the same thing twice. You drop 2 drops, but if something changes, then the liquid will change with it with the least amount of energy. It doesn't really, have a hang up. It just flows.
And I remember a conversation we've had off the air, but it sounds like your kind of North Star in decision making is optimization, right? You're always looking for that optimal path to do things, processes. Yeah.
Yep. Which I would describe as largely a balance between all of the factors that is weighed against my overall sense of priority.
Gotcha.
Fucking Chet's an interesting fucking.
Have you seen Cowboy Bebop?
No.
Oh, Eric, help.
What is it? Is it
It's an anime.
Anime. Okay.
It's a really good one. Don't watch the live action version on Netflix. Just try to find the original.
Give me an example of the most agile thing you think you've done in the last month.
Okay. So I have kittens.
Okay.
And so I was
how many kittens?
Two kittens,
All
2
right.
boys, brothers, bonded brothers. So I was hoping they would turn their energy upon each other.
Was this decision yours to get 2 kittens?
I wanted cats for a while, yeah, but at least kind of helped me find 2 that would potentially be a good match. But I was kind of keeping them contained in my daughter's room, and they became to start messing it up. So my agility in that situation was essentially to gut the room, to take every single thing out of that room that they could possibly destroy. Because she's not here right now, she's with her mom. So I just cleaned everything up and gutted the whole room. This very effectively took out the ability of them to be able to cause any harm to anything that I care about. So I would call that a little bit of agility.
Yeah. Okay. So that was the most agile thing. You didn't react poorly, which is like, I would think is like agility. You didn't have like a poor decision-making process. You were like, what's going to make this the best situation possible? And I'm going to have to make a change, right?
Yeah. Get to the point of action as soon as possible, which definitely has a underlying framing in your sense of accountability. If you're not having a strong stance of accountability, it's going to be hard to find your particular action in that situation, especially if you're faced with a really great challenge, which might require really dire action.
I'm going to focus in on the kitten decision, acquisition decision. So it sounds like you wanted cats, but you had trouble committing to actually pulling the trigger. So how did this Elise person help you?
Elise, my girlfriend, she
I didn't know that news.
Yeah,
I just don't like to say names on
it's
here.
okay.
I don't want to put you on blast. I'll let you do that.
Sure. She has a cat already, and so there has to be a sense of cohesion in the household, and so I could upset that by just introducing cats that I would choose. So her involvement in the cat picking process was pretty important.
So you needed her to be like, Chet, it's okay if you get some cats.
I need her to even meet the cats first and have a sense of if she thinks they would be a good fit.
So do you look at her as more knowledgeable about cats, it sounds like?
No, I picture her as another, person in the house that I need to collaborate on and come to a sense of balance with in the cat, management process.
And how'd you come up with 2 cats?
I wanted 2 cats because I just ethically don't think that pets shouldn't be left alone and shouldn't be alone. And having 2 dogs or 2 cats would always be what I would want to do, just to have them have a friend. So that's just my stance.
Would you do the same thing with kids?
Nope.
Just one.
Like what? It's
one's
the same concept,
good,
dude.
No, there's kids go on dates and stuff. I'm not taking my cat on a cat date or anything like that.
Okay, so you're saying like in a
Kids
kid's
play with
life
other kids.
between 1 and 17 doesn't matter if they're alone, and then when they start dating is at 17. Well, I guess they go on play dates and those things.
It would be really bad to keep a kid alone for their entire childhood years.
Well, yeah. I was just saying like romantic when you said date, romantic, but you're referring to like hangouts with your friends.
Hangouts in social
parties,
involvement.
social events. Okay.
Yeah.
Your kid is getting to that age of the dating phase. Are you ready?
She's had a boyfriend for years.
Oh shit! Have you met him?
Oh yeah. Not in person, but we play video games. We were all playing Red Dead Online.
Did you like dominate?
They were introducing me to the game, and in one situation, I will say I accidentally blew a guy's head off as I was riding on the back of my daughter's horse.
Shit,
Another player. It was very funny. It was
Did
an
you
accident.
like flex on them all with your PC though? You told them you have a fucking dual processor, 2 2080 Ti's.
I'm sure they could hear the fans kicking in the background.
Yeah, they were like fucking scared.
It's loud.
Did the boyfriend try to flex on you?
No, he's kind of the less dominant one in their relationship, so he's more timid.
Okay, that's usually how it is. I feel like women. Yeah.
Is that how it is for you?
No, not really. What about for you?
Sure about that?
For Matt, it is. For me, would you say it is? For me, I think it's pretty balanced right now, at least.
I don't know. I don't know for you. It's hard to say.
I'm the younger one, so
it's new.
And it's new, so there's like.
Matt, sounds like you're reserved.
We're both pretty.
They haven't like gone through any struggle yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guess we'll learn.
Yeah.
No one's really conflicted.
Yeah, we have to that will come up at some point in life. Unless not, Chet, we might not, since we have all these tools. I've read some books, read your book, a couple of different tools.
Well, I mean, you have the tool. I'm just saying, like, a conflict hasn't come up.
Yeah,
beliefs are disagreeing with each other.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on
I'm not saying you're gonna get in fights. I'm just saying like how you're gonna resolve the differences.
All right, I gotcha.
Are you guys over time?
Oh yeah, we're well over time.
It's fine, dude.
What else you got?
To get something else?
That was my main question. I was just wanted to chime in on that.
Yeah, we don't cut we're just agile. So if you had things to say, we would continue to let it flow. It's because he blames me for everything. I do blame Eric for a lot of stuff. It's usually all of us. We'll just blame Eric. It's if we use Eric in every situation.
I think he would have been great for this podcast because I think he's the counter of agility.
Yeah, he's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you know Rico pretty well? Would you agree on that, Chet?
I would not necessarily agree with that because agility isn't a binary. It's not a thing you either got or you don't got. It's a level of it. It's a spectrum to some extent.
So 1 to 10, Eric's agility. You can't pick 7. What's his power?
I have to pick 7.
You can't.
You can't pick 7, dude. It's part of the rules. 7 doesn't exist. It's 1 through 6, and then 8 to 10.
I have to pick 7.
Oh, you can't. Okay, let's put it this way. Rick's running the 100-yard dash as fast as he fucking can. And we know him. He's fucking a leopard, dude. This guy's fast. But now he's a tall guy, too. He's like 6'6", but there's a hurdles in his way. Does Rick run into the said hurdles, or does Rick stop and wait for the hurdle to get out of the way? He can't clear it. There's no way he could jump it. The hurdle's too tall.
He can't jump it.
He's got to figure out how. He's got to.
I think he would probably run into it because he's so big and heavy that it'd be hard to stop his weight.
I think he would sit down and just be like, it will move at some point.
Yeah,
that's how I view it.
And if he does run into it, maybe he could knock it down.
All right, even better situation. Rick's driving, going to the New Jersey Walt Whitman Bridge, and he's got to pay the toll. He's got no cash. So he hits up Chet. He's like, yo, Chet, I'm sitting here, Ben Franklin Bridge, eating a cheesesteak that I got at Pat's, but I need cash to pay the toll. They said I can't go through. Can you bring it to me? Chet's like, I'll bring it to you on Thursday. Like, all right. I'll be here. I'll wait. That's Rico for you. That's my thought.
Yes.
I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think Eric's a little more slow and methodical and like needs everything to fall according to plan.
Chet's gonna get there.
I do think Eric is less risk adverse.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Chet's gonna get there with the cash, and it's gonna be like, here's a 20, pay the toll. Eric's gonna be like, they said it was $250. I need you to go get the exact amount. You would disagree.
He definitely won't go into debt over it. I'll say that much.
It's like the PC thing. He still doesn't stream because he doesn't have what's the issue now? What do you need, Eric? More core? He says
he needs better methodologies.
He needs more kernels on his machine.
Yeah, he doesn't know. It's too funny.
Where is he anyway?
He's too tired. He said he was up all night gaming, and now he can't.
This is what it's another good example of the agility. Like he didn't know that he was going to be on the podcast,
so he doesn't.
He can't.
Yeah, his hair's not done. He didn't fucking floss.
We didn't give him the script.
Yeah. We've had him on the podcast before, and he made us delete it because it wasn't perfect. He was like, I watched Jimmy Kimmel last night and he had like a really good script. I was looking for the same type of thing. Here he is, like the fucking brute, the fucking monster. Look at him rubbing his eyes. He got dialed up. What'd you do? You went to the bathroom, you shaved.
His hair looks good. It does.
What do you got?
Sound work?
What's up, guys?
Yeah, there he
This
is.
is how he's gonna, when he's at Pro, he's gonna answer and he's gonna be like, "Look, man, I saw you needed request a couple days ago, but
You just dropped the bomb. Like,
I was tired." No, reverse. Delete that, Gaz. Delete that. Bleep that out.
What did you just say?
Nothing, dude. What's new?
I think I'm more agile than you guys.
You think you're more agile?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually.
In a couple, and yeah, in some instances, I think you would. In the dating world, you're 100% more agile.
That's all you think I do is date.
Yeah.
That's a good. Yeah, I would agree with that though. You definitely are agile in the dating game. You don't get committed like Luke and I.
Yeah.
I would argue that I've taken more risks than all three of you in my life.
Don't piss Chet off, dude. Chet is fight for our fucking country, dude.
I think Chet. I can't speak for the first half of his life, but in his latter years, he's probably become the least agile. And you guys over there, you're pretty much in the same spot. Luke probably is the most agile between the three of you, I think.
And then you're above me. I respect you, dude. I respect
based
you.
on your definition of agile, I mean, it sounds like agile and adapt is the same word. Am I correct about that? Adaptation and agility sounds like the same exact thing, right?
I guess you could put it that way. Chet defined agility as like taking the least line of resistance. So it's like, what's going to be the easiest way to get to point A to point B while still hitting obstacles? So like, right, you're dropping water and all of a sudden, like, or like, what's the thing where the marble gets dropped and it hits and it bounces and it goes, but it still goes to the bottom.
So agility is taking the easy way out?
No, agility would be taking
The most efficient way from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Where adaptability is the acquisition of change of the process, where agility is the process adapting or responding to change.
Yeah.
So then
So
what does agility
related.
have to do with risk?
Because it all has to do with risk. If you want it to do with risk, it doesn't have to be. Like we're the risk advisor committee right now.
Well, I thought the point that was being made was that
he's always trying to.
I'm the least agile and take the least risk, but you're saying it's not.
It does have to do with risk in multiple ways.
I mean, no, I'm actually going to retract my statement. Eric is the most risk adverse person here. You're the riskiest motherfucker I've met, actually.
Being adverse to risk means you don't take risk.
Like, if I was an insurance company, I would be like, my guy, you're going to be paying me top dollar to insure you because you're risky as balls. If Chet was like, hey, I'm going to buy this house, I'd be like, what do you want, a 1% interest rate? You want 0? I'll give it to you. Because Chet, I know, is going to pay me back.
He's a
Eric,
safe
on the
bet.
other hand, is going to be like, look, man, I'm fucking going on tour in North Korea.
Oh, you said Eric is risky.
Yeah, Eric is the the riskiest motherfucker. He's
Right.
gonna do the craziest shit, and I think you're actually you are the
But-
riskiest person here, and I would be the
but
second. Matt
The
would be
reality is that it's so dependent on so many things, right? Because if we're talking about like life choices, career moves, that's one thing. But if we're talking about like going to the gun range, I'm the last guy that's going to do that. I'm not
Okay.
taking that risk. But that's why I'm getting confused about the definition of agile, because I feel like we're
Well,
talking about two different things.
It's whatever you want it to be. It's literally you have to be agile in everything in your life. It's like I eat X, Y, or I drink coffee every morning. I'm out of coffee. I can't drink it. What am I going to do? Am I going to skip coffee? Am I going to drink tea? Am I going to go to the store and come home and make it? Am I going to go to a coffee shop? Am I going to fucking risk driving? Or it's like, okay, driving and I don't have gas. Am I going to make it to the gas station? The car says 30 miles. The gas station is 31 miles. Do I risk it or do I stop? Like, it's literally in every situation in your life. It's like, how safe are you? Or like when Chat helped me here, how well do you ride on the line of risk, I guess? Like, word that better for me. You're like my chat AI. Like, word it better for me.
There's multiple ways that I think risk has a play on agility. One of the ways is when you're planning something, right? There's uncertainty in what might happen, and you plan for that uncertainty, right? There's some level of risk management in that. And so you're going to make a plan that somehow, accounts for the different things of what might happen. And so different people will have different degrees of accepted risk in their planning.
Mm-hmm.
And that will, to some degree, determine what type of goals they go after. So that's one of the applications of risk. And then there's the actual mechanism for how your processes account for those uncertainties. And so if you have built processes that say, okay, if this happens, if that happens, this is, the plan's all set up to handle all of those situations, and then to quickly, move on, then you have built into your processes the ability to take on greater risks and have those risks solved for. So essentially, it's more complexity, but you can then take on greater risk. So it's either more sort of the complex approach or a more simple conservative approach of risk management.
Okay. So the only way for you to essentially be able to understand risk is you need to go through those. You need to get adaptation, right? So you need to actually have things happen to you. So then you actually understand what it's like when you're doing that, right? So it's like, if you get laid off from your job, the first time you get laid off, you're going to be super unagile. And then if you get a job and then you get laid off again, you're like, cool, I know exactly what the fuck to do. Here's where I'm going. Is that what you mean? You need to prepare for the unknown?
That's a massive part of it, which largely in what you said has to do with taking a leap of faith and having trust. And I will say, when it comes to the idea of having scalable and performant processes, having a trust-based system versus a system that is not based in trust makes all the difference at the largest of scales from an energy perspective. Meaning, if you think about these massive organizations out there, they largely probably do not have that culture and have scaled to such proportions because they were forced to maintain. And so they have such a financial overhead that they're carrying because they simply could not trust.
No, that makes sense. All right. So if you're going to leave the viewers, because we got to wrap it up, what would be your advice for Eric to become more agile?
I don't think he needs any advice. It's just a different approach, right? There's different approaches that have different balance, different contexts.
Okay.
I don't think that's
so your advice would be there is no one way to do it.
Is absolutely no one way to do it. Everybody has to find their own balance within their own context. That's the truth of it. And if you think there's only one way to do it, you're not going to be performant.
And the person saying there's only one way to do it is completely unagile. They're like set in stone.
There you go. That's a good idea to leave the podcast with, I think.
Yeah, I like that. Rick, write that down, my guy. Thanks for joining us a little late, Chet. You're always full of fucking wisdom. We'd love to interview you. Like, thought I interviewed Matt and his life. I'd love to interview you on your life.
My book will probably be out by the end of the year, if not sooner.
All right.
Maybe we can talk about that.
Out here? Rick might be here too.
I'll show up on site.
Nice. Beautiful.
Live interview. Boys. Thank you, guys.
See ya.
See you guys.
All right, Matt.
Yeah,
good episode. Long.
Good, man. Yeah, long. We're at 90 minutes.
Like, subscribe, click the link to say that because none of you probably made it this far.
Click the link down there.
Peace.